Mayoral Memo with Matthew Dickerson from Dubbo Regional Council.
Time for our fortnightly chat with the Mayor of Dubbo. Very good morning, Matt Dickerson. How are you?
Good morning. Very good, thank you. It's always great to chat to you and your listeners bright and early on a Monday morning.
Yeah, time to get stuck into it. You've got plenty of things. We've got plenty to talk about. First up this morning, the EI buy or leasing. We're talking the sale yards at the moment, a bit of a controversial one.
You're not having a go if you're not doing something a bit controversial every now and again, I think. If you're just going along, ticking all the boxes and doing things plain old boring, then you're probably not going to cause some controversy. But
That's the one.
If you're pushing the envelope, you're probably going to create a bit of controversy. Now, in this particular one here, we've been getting some advice from the Office of Local Government and from some of our legal people to say that the operating model at the moment of the sale yards, keeping in mind this is an operating model that's been in place for 74 years, some things have changed and we need to change our operating model. So that's a given from a council perspective and the discussions we've been having with the users of the sale yards. But in doing that, we thought, well, why look at just the way that it's been run in terms of our ownership? Why don't we look at the idea of selling the sale yards or long-term leasing the sale yards? And there are other sale yards around the state where both of those options have occurred. So we have put out an EOI at the moment for both of those options. If someone thinks they can run the sale yards or they can buy the sale yards, then we're happy to accept some information from them, obviously some pricing information and some structural information about how that would work. The EOI is open until the 14th of May, so you've got to get the information in before then. But you can probably be fair to say that there's been just a couple of people who have expressed some dissatisfaction with council about the idea of selling the sale yards. And I've got to stress at the moment, councillors have made no decision. We are going to wait until all the EOIs come in and we'll look at those and judge those and look at our own internal operating model and come up with the right solution, we think, for the overall community. But at the moment, there's been a few users there who have said in no uncertain terms that they wouldn't like to see council sell that. So stay tuned to this. I don't know what the answer will be.
Well, it'll be interesting to see how many expressions of interest you actually get. So, yeah, we'll wait and see. We'll wait and see on that one.
Yeah, there's a few companies out there that do specialise in either buying or running sale yards. So, and there's ones that have got some form in other parts of the state and other parts of the country. So I hope that we do get some expressions of interest and that'll just give us more options.
All right, we'll check on that one a little further down the track. Residents' Night. This is a very popular one, isn't it?
It is a popular one. If you put on a bit of free food and some free drinks for people, then it's amazing how popular you become. And this is the night that we have. About every 6 months, we put on a night to basically put our arms wide open and say, welcome to the Dubbo community. If you've moved here from 50 kilometres or 5,000 kilometres away and you've moved in the last 6 months or so, then come along and be part of this night. One part is for us as a council to really say welcome, but another part is we want people to be really integrated into our community. So on these nights, we have a number of stalls that are set up by various community organisations. So it might be a local Rotary Club, it might be a sporting group, it might be some way that you can get involved in the community. So when people come here, they say, oh, look, I used to be a member of a Rotary Club, or I play a bit of tennis or touch footy. And so we've got these various groups. They're ready to basically say, sure, join up with our club, be part of our community, be part of our group, whatever it might be. It's a really nice way to say welcome, and basically we want you here. And it's a really, I suppose, special way for some people. And many people say that they've moved before and nothing special has happened, so they actually appreciate the fact that we care enough about them.
Yeah, that's a really good thing. It's a great way of reaching out and actually getting the people to actually feel more at home now that they've arrived. That's a great idea. That's a fantastic idea. And also, we're going to mention citizenship ceremonies as well.
Another one of those last week. We're doing these about every 2 months now. I actually found they were getting a little bit too large. We used to do them every 3 months, but it was getting so large, so many people in a ceremony, that it was losing just a little bit of its personal touch. So I said, well, let's make them a little bit closer together. So we do them every 2 months now, and last week was no exception to what we're seeing. 11 years ago, I did my first citizenship ceremony, and we mainly had people from the UK and New Zealand and maybe some Canadians or Americans, and every now and again, very rare, maybe someone from the Asian subcontinent. Well, to give you an idea, last week, the countries that came from 9 different countries, and in order of the people from different countries. So Nepal, we had 8 people from Nepal, and then down the list we had India, and the Philippines, Iran, New Zealand, the Macau Special Admin Region, Russia, Vietnam, and then we had one person from the UK. So it gives you an idea how things have changed over the years, but also an idea of where these people are coming from. And I love talking to some of these people afterwards. I didn't get to talk to all those people, but just the stories they've got about how they've ended up in Dubbo, how they end up in Australia for a start, and then how they end up in Dubbo. I always love the stories. Most people say it's because of the wonderful council in Dubbo. That's what drew them here, but they have a few other reasons as well.
Yeah, and it's very, very good, even up here where we are, and that I really enjoy it. Meeting, there's so many from so many different countries, like you say. It certainly has changed compared to, say, 20 years back, and that when they were all pretty much the UK or Kiwis. So that's not that we mind them, of course. we welcome them all. We do indeed. Now, there's an exhibition coming up as well. We have to have a look at this one. Yeah,
definitely. It's actually just opened, so it's literally just open now. It's called the Bald Archie Prize. Now, of course, most people are familiar with the Archibald competition, and we've had that competition. I think 4 times I've been to the full Archibald finalist exhibition here in Dubbo. But this is the Bald Archie, and it's a bit of a satire competition. It's a art competition that was started back in 1994 by the late Peter Beattie, and it's basically a way to take a look at things that have happened with people throughout the world over the last year, or maybe Australia mainly focused on that, and then have a bit of a satirical look at some of those. And I had a look at there, and there's a great picture of Dave Warner. Of course, Dave Warner retired from Test cricket in the last year. Great picture of Dave Warner there that's been drawn. You've seen people like Bart Cummings or Ando or Dame Edna in past exhibitions. So I won't give away all the different people that are in this one, but well and truly worth it. Free exhibition at the Western Plains Cultural Centre. The Cultural Centre is a wonderful facility that we have. About 150,000 people a year go through our Western Plains Cultural Centre, and it's exhibitions like this that keep them coming back.
Yeah, get on to it. Get on down there and have a look, you see. It's free as well, so, and should be a good laugh. Yeah. Should be a few good laughs as well, definitely.
And there's a nice cafe there, so you can go in there, have a look around the exhibition, and then grab a coffee or maybe a bit of lunch there as well. So it is a very popular spot, and especially when you've just got that little outdoor area there, the weather at the moment is perfect for it because you're not sitting out in the blazing sun and it's not too cold, so very popular outside.
Oh, could imagine, yeah, absolutely. And we're going to wrap it up today with Tara Moriarty. Now, you caught up with her recently, and you're talking about fire ants, which are becoming a bit of an issue, aren't they, really?
They are becoming a bit of an issue, and this was actually a meeting I had wearing more my Regional Cities New South Wales hat. So as the Mayor, obviously I'm representing Dubbo, but I also am the chairperson of Regional Cities New South Wales, which represents 15 cities around New South Wales. And one of those cities is Tweed Heads. And of course, the fire ant incursion that we've had has affected the top part of New South Wales. And it was really a discussion with Tara, who is the Minister for Agriculture, as well as a couple of the portfolios. It was really a discussion to make sure that the government was well and truly aware that councils, Tweed in particular in this case, very willing to help out in this particular situation. But we really want to make sure we don't get fire ants coming further down. Now, fire ants can just seem to chew through anything, electrical cables, foundations. It doesn't seem to matter what gets in the road of fire ants. They seem to just chew through them. So it's trying to limit how far they are. They've had a problem in the bottom end of Queensland, obviously, with fire ants, but trying to eliminate them completely is a real challenge. But people also die from them. And I didn't realise this before I was doing the research for this meeting with Tara, but there are people who, you get stung by an ant and it stings. You get stung by lots of ants, which happens with fire ants, and it stings a lot. And some people also have allergic reactions. So you do get people who die from them. More people die from fire ant bites than they die from spider bites, for example. So it's a real issue for humans, a real issue for our infrastructure. And again, it was pleasing to hear from Tara that New South Wales government is definitely aware of the damage they can do, and they're throwing out a lot of resources to make sure they don't come down any further into New South Wales.
That's definitely what we need to hear. Definitely. They're nasty little critters. They certainly are. Fantastic. It's always great catching up with you, Matt. Thanks for the chat today, mate. And, of course, we'll do it again about a fortnight's time, I reckon.
Sounds good. Don't forget, Anzac Day this Thursday. Anyone that's in Dubbo, there are lots of traffic changes for Anzac Day, so just look on our website to see all those traffic changes with, obviously, the dawn service. And then we'll have a talk by Michael Bell at 7 a.m. at the Cultural Centre. And then, of course, the main march, which ends up at the Cenotaph at 10:30 a.m. So a busy day before you go and play 2-up for the rest of the day.
forget. Indeed. Matt Dickerson, fantastic. Catch up with you again soon, my friend. Have a great one.
Thank you.
Outback Radio 2WEB.
Mayoral Memo with Matthew Dickerson from Dubbo Regional Council.